Hey everyone, Nubkeks here and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. Today I'm going to be showing you a game of Thrall, which I think is a pretty good game. I think you're going to enjoy it. And then I'm also going to be talking about, going to chat a bit about the personal performance-based matchmaking system and sort of the reports I've been seeing for the first few days. So just to be clear as well, this game actually came from a couple of days before the patch. I haven't had a chance yet. Gonna be doing that today to sit down and play some stuff. I didn't get a chance yesterday, as I explained in yesterday's video. So with all the mess with the rank reset and everything. So yeah, I'm going to talk about this one instead. I think it's actually pretty relevant, this one. And also it's going to be the last time I can really show it to you guys, because I really want to move into doing content on the new patch from now on. But this one's pretty relevant because we do cover, obviously, as Thrall will be laning against Sagara a good bit. We're going to be covering solo lane, which is very relevant to the new meta that will emerge. And we're going to be talking about... I think there's a couple of very good instances in this game of just understanding map rotations. I do a couple of like crazy dives in this game where I just go absolutely ham, and I want to talk about why that turns out to be a good, well, sometimes it turns out to be a good decision. There's one time at least where it turns out to be really good, and I want to point that out and talk about why and how that sort of stuff works. So I'm gonna like first pick Thrall, by the way, which, excuse me, hiccups, it's not that good, but anyway. Yeah, so personal based adjustment. Well, I'll tell you something, right? Put this in context. I'm pretty skeptical about it. I'm pretty damn skeptical about this personal performance-based matchmaking thing, judging from how it's gone. Again, I'll give you a better opinion once I've tested it myself. However, literally as I was reviewing this Thrall footage and eating my brunch this morning, as I was preparing this video, I had Chris, his stream up. He's one of the pro players from EU. I had his stream up and was watching a couple of his games while doing all that. And I saw him play a game on Vala. And again, if you guys know Chris, he's extremely good on Vala. You also know that Vala is my most played hero, and I really respect Chris on Vala. He's fantastic, okay? I saw him play a game on Vala very well, one of the best Valas in Europe, and get a negative performance-based matchmaking. The game said, no, you played this really badly. I was watching it. He didn't. He played it very, very well. Then I watched him play a game on Nova, which he did, like, he played it well, sure, but had a much more, it was not as helpful as his Vala would have been, that's for sure. And he got a very large personal positive adjustment. So that kind of puts it in context where, wait, hang on a player. Someone actually playing one hero extremely well is getting a negative adjustment for some godforsaken reason, whereas then playing a different hero, they're getting positive. It's absolutely bizarre. And there've been a lot of other reports along the lines, again, from other players that I respect. For example, I saw Dunk Train this morning, who I've played, obviously, you know, no Dunk Train from his pro career and some of his streaming as well. And I've done streams with him too, over on Squadron. In fact, should be doing one tonight if he's there. Really respect the guy. Very, very intelligent player. Really, really good. And again, I saw he was tweeting that, you know, he was feeling pretty positive, neutral to positive about the new matchmaking going into it. But now after playing it for a couple of days, and again, he plays a lot of Hero League, he's feeling pretty negative about it. So yeah, and then similar things from a lot of other players, So yeah, I'm kind of concerned about that, you know. My biggest concern maybe is that, you know, in terms of education and teaching players, right? Because this matters, right? Teaching players matters. By the way, in this game we're getting outdrafted so hard. Arthas is really good against Thrall, so Sonya. Because Thrall kind of wants to, like, he's got no dash mobility, right? He's got a movement speed boost. But imagine, Thrall into Arthas is really tough, right? Because you're running in and you get slowed by Arthas' AoE. And how'd you get out? It's kind of a pain in the butt. And then we've got Tastor. So yeah, we've been outdrafted really badly. Our draft's not very good. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the game. We'll talk more about it there and talk about Thrall. Alright guys, here we are in the game. I want to finish that final thought I had going into this in terms of concerns about the new performance-based matchmaking. Is my concern from a video making perspective. Which again, tying into that initial point of, let's say, Chris playing Vala really well, getting a negative performance-based adjustment. this is going to be a, you know, my concern is making videos, and people might get this totally obscure idea, this totally distorted idea of what actually works on given heroes, if it's more about how they're played most popularly instead of what's actually the best. I can just see the YouTube comments already. I mean, you always get like a bunch of derpy comments, always, you know, that's just YouTube, right? But I'm already prepared for all the comments being like, oh, well, you got a negative, like, even if I get a game where I play really well, if it happens to get a negative performance-based adjustment, even if I know that it's a really good game, even if I think it's a game that's worthwhile showing, I know you're going to get a lot of shit, right? If it gets a negative performance-based adjustment. I might have to use games where I actually play worse, or there's less useful things to say, because I have to have a positive performance-based thing, because so many people watching will just go, oh, you got a negative one. You must suck. Why would I listen to you? And all this stuff. So that's something that I'm not particularly looking forward to right now. Anyway, we're here against Zagara in the lane. So this is pretty interesting. I think you'll notice, like, I'm not super experienced with Thrall, and you'll notice me doing some adaptations and trying out a few different things in this particular game. So first of all, of course, you know, we are able to kill off some of her creep with our W early game. This gets a bit of a pain in the butt once we get to level 4. I'll talk about it more when we get to level 4. But yeah, kind of learning how to lane against Zagara, and I'm learning a few things. So you can see we had one adaptation already, which was I was going, hey, hang on a second. As Thrall, I've got loads of self-healing, right? So I can actually just go into Zagara's face, and I can actually just, you know, eat some of these Qs, right? So you saw that I did that. I let the first few Qs hit my tower. I said, wow, this is actually doing a lot of structural damage. Hang on a second. I can eat these and heal myself up, deny her some of that damage. It's going to be fine. So that was one adaptation. You can see adaptation number 2. I was learning a lot of things from this game, right? The other thing I was noticing was, hey, hang on a second, I can actually kill her Hydralisk pretty easily. So that's something I think you want to be doing as Thrall. You know, you don't want to just be running away from the Hydralisk, which is certainly how you would have played it a while ago before the Zagara changes came in. I think it's different now. And now you can definitely play it more aggressive. When she does the Hydra, you can go aggressive, right? So here you can see again I'm trading into her aggressively. This is one thing you want to do as Thrall. Your E is a hyper steroid, right? It gives you a massive damage boost. You'll very often outtrade most heroes when you get that. I think it's one of the difficult things about Thrall as well, is that you, in terms of solo laning, you do need that experience in terms of being used to how much healing you're going to get, right? So it's an extra level of complexity in terms of knowing when you can trade, because you have to work that out. What I want you to watch here as well, in terms of the rotation, right? What if I come to middle? So I've come to middle because none of my teammates, they're fighting over these temples, right? They're not near to those minions, they can't pick them up. So I go up, I grab those few melee minions, so that's a few extra, come back down to bottom lane, and look at that, okay? Did I miss any minions down bottom lane? What did me leaving bottom lane do? Did we miss out on that much? Not really. We got actually a few extra minions in middle, and we were there for all of the XP down bottom. So in terms of maximizing XP, we're able to get nearly all of it. There you can see again, right? I know Zagara is doing that stuff. She pops her Hydralisk, so I turn around and kill the Hydralisk. And actually, it seems that Thrall, again, I can't judge it from just this game, but he seems okay against Zagara in the lane. So we're able to poke her, we can self-heal, she can't, and we can use that to our advantage. The big issue, of course, is level 4. I like to get the W questing talent. So for this, I think we have to hit 7 heroes with our W, without missing one, without dying. Once we do that, we get half mana cost and half cooldown on it, which is insanely strong. Okay, it's so good. This gives us a problem though. Why? Because how do we clear out Zagara's creep as Thrall? We have to use our W. Big problem then, we can't, because we have to hit a hero with our W in order to not lose quest progress. So whenever that comes out, so we basically just can't clear creep anymore, and this is a big issue. I'm going to grab Ancestral Wrath at 7. Now, I personally love follow through on Thrall, and I think it works with this build really well. However, I've heard a lot of players, again, more experienced players on Thrall. For example, I was talking to Horsepants. I think he was talking about Thrall last week on Rank Win EU, right? And he was saying, hey, hang on, you know, on Thrall you want to take Ancestral Wrath. I think that's what he was talking about anyway. So I've been trying out Ancestral Wrath, which is pretty good too. So this one, you know, when you trigger your trait, it will give you stacks. Basically, when you hit enemies with spells, it gives you stacks. You'll see them building up, then you can activate that to steal some life, do some damage. So you get killed here. This is a bit unfortunate. A little bit clunky in terms of the rotation. I got a bit greedy as well, stepping forwards for an extra lightning instead of just running. Might have died either way, not entirely sure. So that kind of sucks, and we've lost progress on our quest there. Definitely, our early game, our map stuff is a bit, it's definitely problematic. Like I said, we're just outdrafted, so we're going to have a tough game. But yeah, it's funny, right? I'm not sure about Thrall into Zagara. It seems like it could be okay, but again, I don't know how good this Zagara actually is. He could be amazing, he could be rubbish, who knows. So I don't know. But Thrall seems decent against her in the lane, which is kind of useful, because it's hard to find people that are actually good against Zagara in the lane. So here we actually get pretty lucky as well. We managed to root Sonya just as her minions had died and she's tanking some fort shots. So we get a nice kill for free, which is fantastic. I'm just going to keep depushing this. We need the XP, right? If you look at XP, we're way, way, way down. So we got this big wave up top. I want to clear it as quickly as possible. Again, the issue here is, do I want to use my W for wave clear? I would love to, but I kind of want to keep those stacked to try finish my quest. It's very much like the Master's Touch from Medivh. It's such a huge power boost when you finish the quest. You kind of have to sacrifice your gameplay quite a bit in order to finish that. That's definitely something to watch out for. This is interesting as well. Our teammates are kind of forcing a fight down bottom. In return, we've given up mid fort. It was on half HP. Zagara killed it all because they're fighting bottom. But in return, we did trade 1 for 1 in terms of kills. And our team is getting most of that tempo. So overall, it's actually a worthwhile, trade. I think the Varian feels a bit negative about it because he's dead. But I think it actually does work out as being worthwhile. I'm going to grab Earthquake at level 10. I think it's the best one to grab. So that's what we're going for. Yeah, that's what we're running with. That's what we're running with. I'm making my way down to join my allies now. The enemy team might have been looking to punish a bit after that particular thing. This is actually quite risky. This is quite risky. See, I'm looking for it. Actually, throw out the W there. I was kind of expecting the invade, so that actually ends up missing. So that resets the quest stacks there. But yeah, this is super risky. The enemy team could force this and punish us. Lunara's gone top. Ends up that Sonya shows top, and the enemy team doesn't actually invade there. If they were better, they would have. I think that would have been such a strong invade for the enemy team on those Siege Giants. They could have denied them, stole them away, maybe even gotten a kill on us. So kind of lucky that they didn't, right? Kind of lucky that they didn't. Lunara is fighting that Sonya up top. Hopefully that's going okay. We're just clearing this out. Now we've got the Siege Giants pushing bottom. That gives us some control, some pressure. You can see my Ancestral Wrath is stacked. It is good to go. These guys are way out of position, so that's nice. Trying to burst everything I can on the Rhaegar. Kill off the totem there. And our teammates are doing okay on the back. Lunara's a little slow, but she does get here. We make it just in for the heal, which is nice. Good Ancestral from Rhaegar. He might give his own life, though. Lunara is chasing. She got the poison on him. Is it enough? Probably is. I think so. We're going to back off. There's no reason for us to chase anymore. Need to try save this Varian. And again, look at this. I'm going for Tychus. Don't want to go for that Arthas, right? Because we just get a stacking slow, which is going to ruin my life as Thrall. That Tychus was there. He was unprotected. We know that the rest of his team just got pushed off to the west. So I'm going to go in, dive that Tychus. We're going to help get the kill on him. And this works out well. With those few kills, we're going to be able to transition into the boss. And happy days. This ends up being a nice little lead for us. Now, Sonya doing the smart thing. Zagara soaking in mid. They've got the vision point in the top mid as well. And Sonya's pushing in the top. So she's getting XP for her team. She's going to get some nice fort pressure. Probably even kill that fort. And you can see like the enemy team is actually ahead of us in terms of XP. But nonetheless, that is a nice swing in our momentum. You can see I'm up to 4 out of 7 stacks on the Thrall quest as well. So that's nice. And yeah, our wave clear though is definitely stepped up. It's amped up thanks to our level 1 quest being finished. Echo of the Elements. So this is you want to last hit minions basically with your Q to stack it up. That's what I was doing early game. When you're finished, it will reduce the mana cost of your Q and then give you second charge, which is nice. So this is super risky too, right? We got 3 teammates in middle. Most of the enemy team are bot, but they're kind of busy with the boss. So you'll notice I'm just taking some of these shots, but I'm basically watching the minimap. I even got hit by the thing, because I'm just watching the minimap. As soon as the enemy team are moving in, I'm ready to move out again. We're watching our team. They're ready to rotate. Varian might come, might come. He's not coming. He's not coming yet. Up to 5 stacks of our quest now. So this is pretty interesting. I'm really expecting the Varian would join us here. He's gone to take vision instead, though, of picking this fight, which kind of sucks for us. We're going to go in. We're just about staying alive. I've forgotten that I can use my D as an activatable trait at level 13 for the heal. There would have been a little bit of extra healing. You see we're able to stay alive though. We're able to cut some pretty good damage out. Varian finally arrives. Zagara is behind as well. And Varian does secure that final kill. We're able to run into the heal that's been put down by Alexstrasza. We're able to move through and pick off some kills too. So yeah, it's pretty interesting there. I think the interesting thing there is that the Varian rotation was an awful lot slower than was expected when looking at that again. That could have gotten a lot better for us, but the Varian prioritized going for Vision instead of coming to join his team. So well, he stayed to finish off the temple. I think that was a really good opportunity to actually just dive the enemy team. Leave that mid temple, dive the enemy team, get several kills, and then, you know, just transition through to a push in bottom lane maybe. That's not going to quite work out here though, but we still won the fight, so that's pretty nice. That's pretty good. Okay, so we're now up in XP, which is good. We're going to have level 16 advantage for a little while. We'll see what we can make do with that. I'll be grabbing Alpha Wolf at level 16. I forget what his talent names are called. I'm really bad, and I forgot to open up the talent calculator as well to let you know. I won't bother now at this stage. You can look them up yourselves. I think I'll probably show them at the end of the game anyway. The Alpha Wolf, it gives you an extra half-second root time on your W, which is amazing. It also makes your basic attacks do max HP damage against targets that have been rooted, which is somewhat nice for sure. It's just extra damage, but the extra root time is amazing, and that super synergizes with our level 4 talent, which is halving the cooldown. So again, you know, being able to cast your W twice as much makes the extra root time at 16 basically twice as good as well. It's just really nice for locking people down and setting up follow-up and control. It's fantastic. See, we only need one more hit here in our W. Just going to go into melee range in the Arthas, and sure, we hit that. It's a good ancestral, just about keeps the Arthas alive, but we finished our W quest now. Again, I'm kind of assuming here that Arthas is dead, so I'm going to switch around to this Zagara, hunt her down with the aid of our allies. She's trying to get into her Nidus Worm. Not a chance she's going to get in. We finish her off. Arthas actually does escape, unfortunately. We were very close to killing him as well. That is a nice little kill for us. I'd actually say at this point, we should probably push that top keep. We could destroy the keep. Unfortunately, everyone left. So it's not going to happen. But yeah, right there, you can see they have someone down bottom. Okay, so they're missing one hero, and then Zagara is dead. And we also had a bruiser camp, like literally right outside their keep walls, plus a minion wave following soon after. I think we probably could have just brute force killed the keep, which is super worthwhile. Much more worthwhile than going down bottom. Now here I'm making a mistake. I missed my root on the Arthas and get rooted in return. This is really bad. This is a huge screw up. You can see that our Alexstrasza is popping everything now because we've messed it up so much. She's going into heroic, trying to stay alive. Again, we don't have like any rotation from our teammates. You need to be ready to cover these mistakes. But yeah, that is definitely a mistake for me. Again, you can see the Varian, same mistake again, I would say. I think the dude's in gold, right? He's overvaluing the objective and undervaluing what happens when people die. So, big mistake for me to get caught, absolutely. But the team is in position to cover that mistake, to mitigate it a little bit, and you have to be able to do that, right? Particularly saving the Alexstrasza, who is very, very savable there. What's the value of getting a few shots off that tower, the temple down bottom, with the Varian, as opposed to Varian coming up and saving his support? It's way more worthwhile to save the hero at this stage in the game, right? Like, you see those bottom shots? I mean, I think they destroyed a well. Maybe got a small bit of damage on the keep. It's nice. It's the best lane for it. But having the map control of having your support alive and possibly having the Thrall alive as well with the quicker rotation, it's much better, right? You get a lot more value out of that. So yeah, that's one thing I would say from this game. It's like overvaluing objectives. Here's the thing, right? Sure, you give up the objective in the short term, but if you win the fight, then you're going to get the objective afterwards. That's one of the really, really important things I would point out there. Give him a bit of leeway on that previous fight, though, considering that it did start off with a big mistake from me. Ancestral just not quite in time, so we're going to get ourselves a kill. And you can see, like, we're diving very, very aggressively here. I mean, look, we just got one kill in the enemy team. This is a good fight for us to take. See, the Tychus is caught out. Tychus goes down. So that's why I'm going so aggressive there. You can see our teammates, again, fairly slow, some of them to follow up on that. But I'm going in that aggressively anyway. Why am I going in so aggressive there? It's because we have the momentum. We have that fight in the bag. We just got one kill. This is a huge win for us. I think it was Tassadar wanted to go back and defend. You definitely don't want to go back and defend. Again, when you're in the position there to get more kills, you get those kills, then you can go back and defend, and you can do so in a much better position when the enemy team is dead. You can see we're actually going to be able to get the boss off of this. I'm kind of slow moving towards the boss myself. This is good though. But yeah, because of those kills, we're able to go get the boss. And that's much more worthwhile, right? Why go back and passively defend the lane, passively take the lesser benefit? We can go and force something and get a bigger one. So this boss is going to do probably an awful lot of damage, right? It's probably going to do a lot of damage. The enemy team, now this is a huge mistake, look at this. They're totally split up, right? So we know Rhaegar's in mid. Someone is up top taking that top temple. So we know they're out of position. They're out this lot, so they're still in that top temple. The boss is pushing bottom. If we can deny this push, and look, someone's just taking the bruiser camp. So they're totally out of position, so I'm diving like a madman here. Why am I diving like a madman? Well, the boss is going to get massive value down bottom. We just saw someone take the bruiser camp, and they're way overextended on this top. You can see Sonya's even gone back to try defend against the boss. Huge mistake from the enemy team. Really bad map movements. We're diving in behind. Alex Straz is diving in behind. Everyone's in behind. Frickin' Tychus laser beam is still shooting at us. Super annoying. But there you go. We get 4 kills from the enemy team. And yeah, this will probably be the game, I think. Maybe not. I think we could probably finish it here. Like, we could probably just push through mid and win. Yeah. Most of them are dead. But do you see, I thought that was that's so important, right? It's so important. This game, in fact, yeah, now I'm watching it again and commentating. I didn't even notice this the first time I watched it through. But for me, really the dominant thing here in this game is overvaluing the temples. God, overvaluing the temples. It's terrible. But that was awful from the enemy team right there. They have a boss pushing bottom. So they're already losing the map, right? They need to respond to that boss. Then they've got people taking both temples and they overstay on that top temple. And they're even taking the bruiser camp at the same time. And Sonya's gone back to defend the boss. It's awful, right? Even if they were all there, right? Even if Sonya was there, they still would have lost that fight. Why? Because they stayed on that top temple and we knew they were there while we were able to cut them off and dive them from behind. We were going to win that fight no matter what. Just based off that map positioning that they had. Way, way, way overstaying for a few temple shots, which again, what did those temple shots do? Some damage to our keep towers? Who cares? Who cares, right? Who cares if you just lost a whole bunch of heroes? So we didn't actually win the game. We actually played it, we're playing it a bit slower. So yeah, that's okay though. We've got 2 keeps down now, so this looks pretty good. We've got catapult pressure in both lanes. And again, this is pretty interesting. So here I'm kind of waiting. I'm kind of going at this point. All right, this enemy team, they're doing some derpy stuff in terms of where they're going. Oh, look, we're going to have temples in top and mid. I'm waiting in this bush. I'm like, what are the chances, right? What are the chances that someone is going to go, oh, I should go take that temple. And they're going to walk through alone, out of position, and we get a free kill. We get a free kill, we win the game. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. That's what we're looking for. So that's why I'm being so aggressively positioned here. We're just waiting for them to go in and take a fight that they don't actually want to take. And then we're going to collapse them. We're going to kill them. So right here. All right, they've gone in. Here we go. We're going to throw down our roots. We're going to throw down the earthquake. Sonya's popped her shield, so she's got armor. So I'm going to turn around, focus in on the Tychus instead. And we're just going to try take him out. Good Ancestor from the Rhaegar. Very good Ancestor from Rhaegar. Lunara's in some trouble to the other side, though. And we're just going to focus that Tychus down once again. Move across to Arthas. Again, root him up, lock him down. Alex Straz is doing work here. Alex Straz does go down. Unfortunately, Sonya going to fall as well. We're able to move into position so we get a root on the Zagara and the Rhaegar too. Dive in behind the enemy team, and there you go. Again, it's just all about, you know, reading these fights, reading the enemy team, and not going in derpy places on the map. So again, we're expecting them to take an engage there. We're ready for the flank. We're ready to collapse. And yeah, it works out. There we go, we're on to the core, and this is going to be a game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, right? And I hope you can understand why I wanted to show you guys this game, even though it's not on the current patch. I thought it was a really interesting game in terms of, like moving on the map and what's actually valuable. And I think, you know, for Varian on our team, definitely overvaluing the temples at the expense of losing team members, and then all of the opportunity cost, all of the losses that are a consequence of losing team members. And then same thing for the enemy team, overvaluing those temples at the expense of basically losing the game because they just lost a whole bunch of heroes and then lost like the entire map because of it. I think it's really interesting stuff. And then we were able to get them in a really nasty position because just by controlling the temples and the map with the pushing things, we were able to wreck them. There's a talent build if you wanted. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you all next time for some more Heroes of the Storm in the new season. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.